So I'm going to try to make this a shorter video, but every time I say that, they seem to go on longer than I anticipated, but that's just how it goes, I guess. Um, First off, I do have to say that um, I have two loved ones that are in the hospital right now. So my series that I've been working on kind of got put on hold. I have been listening uh, to Leticia, while I've been in the hospital. Um, but I just haven't had a chance to, do any of my videos. And then I've been doing a lot of running around as well. And also my videos that I wanted to start putting out about my store that I'm going to be starting, you know, off of YouTube. But I wanted to show some of the products, and also I talked about, funds that I wanted to set aside for anybody that's in need in this drama circle, which includes, all the communities, not just one, um, especially if someone's going real life. That is something I am totally against. Everybody that watches me, listens to me, I should say, not watches me, I haven't went live yet, but anybody that listens to me should know I am totally against that, no matter who you are. But also if somebody is in need, if there's a situation that arises. And I wanted to get to that. And, also I talked about, doing giveaways, and I was going to, kind of show some of the stuff. But that is going to be put on hold just for now. I might be able to get to some of it this weekend. I don't know. It just depends on, how it goes with my loved ones. I'm being there at the hospital, so we'll just see how it goes. But anyways, back to what this video is about. As you can see in my title, we're going to talk about Mrs. Portland. Now, I have not done a video on Mrs. Portland for a very long time. I feel like the more you address some situations, sometimes it's like feeding the fire, fueling the fire. And I just didn't feel like, we needed to go there. But now I am going to address a few things. And I don't bash Mrs. Portland, never have bashed her. Will not make fun of Mrs. Portland, will not attack Mrs. Portland. She might feel like she's being attacked. She has said before that I have attacked her when I haven't, but we know how that goes. She feels like she's being attacked when she isn't. But we are going to address a few things because I have listened, in the last week. I mean, even before that, a lot of things going on, and a lot of people, they just, haven't addressed it, even, a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, or just some of the things they just kind of, myself included, you just kind of walk on eggshells, or you just pick your battles, right? Kind of like with your children. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles, let things go, and not address it. But things are getting, in my opinion, are getting out of control. And I'm sorry, I feel like they need to be addressed. And I am going to address a few things here. This has been a pattern with Mrs. Portland since she came into this drama community. And she is the one that chose to be here, just like the rest of us. She wants to be in this circle for whatever reason. I don't know that reason. Maybe she enjoys it. I don't know. We know she was in a different community at one point, and for whatever reason, she's not there anymore. I'm not going to go into the Portland Andy or any of that stuff, but she's not in that circle whatever anymore. And she wanted to be a part of this community. Now, I totally understand that Mrs. Portland has disabilities. I mean, she has put it out there. We understand, we get it. And being a decent human being, a decent person, we should sometimes, you know, overlook things. We should reach out a hand. We should I'm trying to find the right word, because I'm sure a lot of us have family members that are disabled, right? Maybe have the same issues that Mrs. Portland has. There's a lot of creators that have talked about openly that they have mental disabilities, they have mental health issues. A lot of them have talked about that they have physical disabilities as well. And, you know, we want to maybe not hold them as account more, you know, we don't want to hold them on the same standards maybe as other creators for behaviors, okay? And maybe treat them kinder, okay? And Mrs. P seems like she does have a lot of issues with control, a lot of issues with anger. And I get that. I get that. But here's where there's a but, okay? You can have all these different, and it also seems like there's an impulse control issue there. You can have all these different issues or different triggers. And she does have this, and she's had a problem with every community in this drama circle, every single one. And a lot of people have welcomed her back with open arms. She does make apologies a lot. I give her that. She does. But you can only say I'm sorry for my behavior, for my bad behavior so many times where people are just done with it. Now, some people, some creators or communities have accepted her apologies because she has said some really horrible things about certain people. And they can accept it, but they just don't want her in their community. Okay? They might chit chat with her when she's, you know, in other people's communities, but they just don't want her a part of their community. Other creators have welcomed her in their communities, and a lot of people have taken her under their wing several different times. And you're going to hear my dogs panting. That's not me, I promise. It is super, super hot, even with the air on. The humidity, I've been talking about that over and over this weekend. It is even going to get worse. And they are hot, bless their hearts. I am changing their water out sometimes twice a day. It is just, it's horrible. But anyways, if you hear that, I am not panting, I promise. But a lot of people have taken her under their wing, even after she has said the most horrible things about them. And we know this. We've seen the videos, even though they've gotten deleted. We know this because they found it in their heart that they're starting to understand Mrs. P, and they're understanding that she does have these issues. And they're like, we can forgive her. We absolutely can. We understand. But then when she keeps doing this to them, and they're like, you know what? We are not doing anything wrong. And she is being so vile to us because we have a life outside of YouTube. And a lot of these people that are supporting her, they're supporting her outside of YouTube. Okay? And they're calling her, like when she's coming unhinged, or she's having issues, they are supporting her outside of YouTube. But a lot of people have jobs, they have families, they have, the homes that they have to clean, they might have spouses, um, children, they have yard work, or they're doing, maybe a small business on the side, or they're creators and they're doing their channels as a business too. Maybe they have doctor appointments, grocery shop, and they have all this stuff that they have to do on their own. Maybe they have, like I said, their own mental health issues that they're also dealing with, or physical issues as well, right? And she gets upset if people, this is just my opinion, if they're not at her beck and call when she's reaching out and saying, I need you, I need you, I need you. And so we're going to move on, because we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But, I can go on, in the past on what she has done, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to talk about the last week, the recent stuff that has went on. Because here's the thing, like I said, we can have compassion and empathy, and we absolutely should. We should have this, okay? This should be instilled in us. If not, something is wrong with us, right? Now, first, before I go any further, I have to say, I do believe Save Robbie has Mrs. P's best interest at heart. I think he is doing it all for the right reasons. He is a creator that has taken her under his wing, and he has, kind of from day one, that, and people might not agree with me on that. And the reason why I say that I think he's genuine in his care for her, no matter what she might have said in the past about him, because his first fallout with Natasha, who was his friend, she was putting up videos, and her community would watch videos and they would laugh about it and make fun. But I am putting this out there. Both times that Mrs. P was in Natasha's community, Natasha did not, nor her community, they didn't do anything wrong to begin with. They did not. They did a lot for Mrs. P. I'm just putting that out there, okay? But after Mrs. P putting so many videos, deleting it, and putting so many ugly things about Natasha over and over and over and over again, then Natasha finally clapped back. She did. Now, I don't agree with the videos, the clip videos, some of the channels, they would put these clip videos out and they would watch them and laugh and make fun of them. That I don't agree with, okay? Clapping back at her finally after, Natasha sat back and listened to all this nasty stuff. And we're going to talk about the difference between clapback and just being very nasty, okay? There's a difference. There's absolutely a difference. I didn't agree with them making fun of her and maybe showing her a little bit of compassion because of her disabilities, and maybe not watching those videos and laughing and stuff like that. So Robbie went to her privately and he was saying, I'm not okay with this. That's why they had the first falling out, him and Natasha. So that's why I feel like he is genuine. He is one that is genuine. Okay? And I'll stand by that, no matter if anybody agrees with me or not. Now, I do say that, or I have to say that, he can't tell Mrs. P what to do. She's a grown woman, and she probably wouldn't listen to him anyways. But I think, and she has called him some awful things, and he has tough skin. He said that. There's Lycan that says he has tough skin too. But what about the others that don't have the tough skin, right? When she called him some homophobic things, she calls people, she's xenophobic, says some racist things. What about those that don't have that tough skin? And it is some, when she says those things, it directly affects them. And my dog just knocked the speaker off. I mean, these dogs are just, gotta love them. Gotta love them. But anyways, what about those people? And they might be, Robbie or Lycan's friends. That's something you got to think about, that I might have a friend that is struggling with, some of these issues, right? And she's making these, or she's saying these things, and she might be saying them to me, but what's coming out of her mouth is really offending some of my friends, and they just might not be saying anything because I support her, and they don't want to lose me as a friend. So moving along, I still think that Robbie, his heart is in the right place. I'm putting that out there. So we're just going to jump into this latest fit tantrum. And even Mrs. P on her latest video, she said it was a tantrum. It was a big tantrum. So we're going to get right down to that. So CJ, and I believe it was Jur, if I'm saying that right. If not, I do apologize. We're hosting for the first time Crama Awards, okay, on YouTube for this drama circle. I think that's what they called it. I did watch it. It was very entertaining. First time ever. And like I said, it was a trial run, right? Never done before. And Mrs. P was very upset because I guess she thought that she was promised a nomination or to be a nominee or however you want to say it. And for whatever, one line sayings or something like that. And she didn't get nominated. Now, I think that there might have been some talk about maybe if we had this category or whatever. But then she went right away and started posting on her wall. And she is the queen of one thing. Dirty deleting. Videos, deleting on our community wall. But you have all these clip channels that already grab all the stuff before she deletes it. So she is very upset over this, and she is throwing a tantrum. Okay? A big tantrum. And she is calling CJ every name under the sun. And so, anyways, again, this is something new. Break up some of the stuff going on. And I'm assuming, because, I don't know everything behind the scenes. I absolutely don't. But I'm assuming that she reached out to Sally Ann. Now, Sally Ann, Crafting with Sally Ann, is one of her supporters, off of YouTube as well. Sally Ann does have, it's Crafting with Sally Ann. She does her business. It's just not a channel, YouTube channel, but she does jewelry. She does her business. And she was having Mrs. Portland do some paint pouring and stuff, and it was awesome. I seen some pieces that Mrs. Portland was doing. She was putting prices on there, and I did a couple of pieces on paint pouring. I have a friend that does it. She sells her pieces. She does jewelry, paint pouring jewelry. She does it on canvas. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and Mrs. Portland just started doing it, And I'm telling you, for a beginner, she was doing wonderful. Wonderful job. I think if she would have stuck with it, she would have done great. Absolutely great. So Sally Ann, I guess, was getting her into that. It seems like with Sally Ann, Mrs. Portland was doing better. She still had some of her moments, but Sally Ann was trying to tell her, when you have moments, reach out to me. When you have moments, this is what you do. Try not to go on your wall. Don't do this, or try not to do that. She was trying to give her guidance. That's what a friend does. You right? That's what a friend does. If you're having issues and you're doing bad behavior, a friend will tell you. If you're triggered, this is not the right thing to do. This is what you should do. That's what a good friend does. And it seemed like, even though Mrs. Portland is an adult, right? She's going to do what she's going to do. It seems like when Sally Ann would talk to her, she was trying to point her in the right direction. And I think Save Robbie was doing the same thing. You don't want to go live when you're mad. You don't want to get on YouTube when you're mad. But it seems like I said, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it seems like to me, what might have happened was that when she found out that she didn't get nominated for these Cromwell Awards, she tried to reach out to Sally Ann and Chris, who is a mod. And they had something in real life going on. And again, don't quote me, but I think it had something to do with Small Town Jewel. And again, don't quote me, but I think I seen where Small Town Jewel said she might have been in the hospital. So that's real life stuff. So I could be completely wrong here, but I do believe that's what happened. So they didn't get back with Mrs. P because they were dealing with something in real life, and that could have been what was happening. I know Small Town Jewel has something happen. She's sick. She has some. There goes my dog. She has some health issues, and so they said that they were dealing with real life stuff. And Mrs. P put on her wall. They reached out to me. Well, she said, let me back that up. She said that she was upset drinking all night over this Cromwell Award stuff. Okay? And they normally reach out to her like 3 times a day, and they didn't reach out to her. So she started bashing them all. Sally Ann, Country Joe, Chris, Small Town Jewel. And I guess Small Town Jewel was in the hospital. And she's bashing her. Seriously? You're expecting a woman to reach out to you that's in the hospital? Okay. So she's going on and on and on because she wasn't nominated, number one. And then, Country Joe was like, if Mrs. P would have reached out to me or whatever, I would have went ahead and put her in there. I would have found a category. That's really, if you think about it, that's really not fair. That is not fair to put Country Joe in that position, because there was a lot of creators that didn't get nominated. There's a lot of creators out there. They did not get nominated, right? And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Mrs. P is funny. She's cute. Even though she gets vile, she's got some really good moments where she can be very funny, very cute, sometimes very sweet, very likable. There's other times where she's very vile, very nasty, very hateful. But she is a creator, let's be honest, that makes no content, okay? She has no content on her page. Nothing. Until she makes vile stuff. She's done a few videos of her going to the park. I watched those videos and I thought they were great. I love it when I see people do some real life things outside of the drama. Where they show nature and stuff. I love that, and I will definitely watch that. I mean, we all like drama, we do. But when people show what they like doing in real life, I like watching that too. But she does no content on her page. She might call herself a creator. She is, because she's got a YouTube channel, but she has no content. And then she deletes everything because most of it is when she's going off on somebody, right? When she's going off on somebody. But she has no content. So why would she have a nomination for anything? She's not putting any work into her channel. And that's the truth. And she says it's because, people hate attack her. They attack some of her stuff. That is true. Some people have done that. But to be in this drama circle, you have to get some tough skin. You do. And even Mrs. P has to, and say, you know what? I don't care what they say about my drawings, my coloring, my painting, or whatever. I'm keeping my stuff up because I need my watch hours so I can get monetized. I don't care what they say. Let them do what they're going to do, because they're going to do it anyways. I'm going to grow my channel. I'm going to get monetized, but I don't think she can be monetized, and I'll say that later. Or maybe she can, if her channel is actually in her name. I'll talk about that later. But the people that support her need to tell her, leave your good stuff up. Don't let them bother you. Don't let them bother you. Your good stuff is good. People enjoy that, because a lot of people, even the people that were taught, that she really hurt in the past and said vile things about, were accepting her. Okay? They would talk to her. Some might not have let her back in the community, like I said before, but they were accepting her again. They would even come in her chat, or not in her chat, but when she would be in other people's chat, and they would say hello to her and hi, how are you doing? And, stuff like that. And then again, a lot of people that she said awful things about accepted her back again and again and again. And they, allowed her back in their community. So she was getting a lot of support, from Country Joe. She did from Scarlett again, until she had a falling out. Sally Ann. I mean, the list goes on. The only one she wasn't was Natasha. That's the one she really wants. I'm sorry, in my opinion, she wants back in that community. Now she's saying that she's supporting Natasha again. I'm sorry, I don't think Natasha nor her community is ever going to allow her back in their community. We see this over and over. She gets mad at all the other people that Natasha doesn't like, and she'll say, I'm supporting Natasha now, leave Natasha alone, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's ever going to happen ever again. Not after what she said about Natasha's aunt. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. But moving on. So she got mad at Sally Ann and Chris and Small Town Jewel because they couldn't get back with her because they had real life stuff going on the next day. Okay. So she is talking about them nonstop, saying the most vile things, talking poorly about Sally Ann's crafts. And, I'm going on Amazon. She does horrible crafts. She does this. She does that. She used me and weaponized me. All these people used me. What are they using Mrs. P for? Seriously, what does she have that they're using her for? I'll never understand that. I don't get that. Okay? Don't understand it. So then she gets mad at Robbie as well because Robbie was a mod in Country Joe's, uh, over on Country Joe's. And she says she's unsubbing from him too. And she unsubbed from everybody, but she says every day that she's going to unsub, but she already unsubbed. She's got everybody on block. But she's okay with Robbie still being over on all these, quote, haters, channels. She's okay with that. Robbie's allowed to do that. But nobody else is. She's seen Kelly over in Granny's. So Kelly's no good to her anymore. Kelly did nothing wrong to her at all. Kelly, I think, had her on panel, and they talked and made amends, but because Kelly went over on Granny's panel, Kelly's no good in her eyes anymore. And Robbie even told her, you can't push away people that care about you or welcome you back or whatever, because you're going to miss out. You're not going to have the support. But she's not listening to that, okay? She's trying to tell people who they can be friends with, or she's going to call them out, all right? That's not how you're going to build your channel. That's not how you're going to build a community. Mrs. P really doesn't have a community. She doesn't. So for days, well, all week, she has been nasty and vile to everybody but Lycan and Robbie, and then one other person. And I think she's okay with Robbie now, but she has said the most horrible things. She said that she hopes Granny gets into a car wreck. Now, everybody's been kind of quiet about it. They have just, in passing, no one's really done a video until lately. They would say, like, just shut up or whatever, because Mrs. P has been going on and on her wall, on her videos, calling everybody out. Now, as a creator, if you're going to sit there and call people out, clap back. You have to expect them to clap back. That's what she's not understanding. That's what happens in the drama circle. If you're going to call people out, they have every right to respond back to you, and that's what they do. So if somebody even says, mentions her name or says F off, then they're hate attacking her and they're bullying her. But she is sitting there doing video after video and then dirty deleting them, or community post after community post, calling them out by name, saying the most disgusting things. And then if they just say, stop it, Mrs. P, F off, whatever they say, but they're not doing a whole video. They're not directing their video or community post at her. Then they're hate attacking her, and they're attacking her because she's disabled. That's what she's putting out there, and that is a lie. They are not doing it because she's disabled, like she's putting it out there. They are saying something because she is attacking them, saying that, she hopes that they get in a car wreck. She doesn't care about a woman that's been in the hospital. Basically, if something happens to her, I don't care. She is degrading somebody that's doing a crafting business. She is saying that people used her and trying to make her into someone that she's not. They tried to make you into a nice person and not to put out such vulgar things. She has been making fun of CJ, posting pictures with her teeth in, saying, at least I can smile. I have implants. At least I'm prettier. At least I'm skinny and petite. And she's calling Country Joe Country Schmo. She's calling a bunch of people different names that have not called her names. Okay? But once they mention her name and finally clap back and say, I've had enough of the abuse, because that's what she's doing. She is abusing them. It's not just with Mrs. P, it's not just one post, one video because she's mad. This has been going on all week. And the videos or the community post are every few hours or every 30 minutes or every hour, all day long. Okay? That's insane. And they finally clap back and you're hate attacking me. You're attacking me. You're mental abuse. You're giving me mental abuse. But she's been doing this on and on and on. All right? And she did do this with Noodle Mash. I am sorry. Noodle Mash did show her proof on the lies. Okay? And one of them, I'm sorry, I seen the video. I seen the video before it was deleted where Mrs. P said when Noodle Mash first came in the picture, she said Noodle Mash, when she introduced Noodle Mash to her husband, that Noodle Mash was the only one that did not bully her in high school. That's before all this argument was going on between the two. She deleted that video. But she said when she introduced her husband to Noodle Mash, she was the only one that did not bully her in high school. She absolutely did. A lot of people seen that video. All right? And then she said that she had to live by her for 14 years when Noodle Mash has put out her lease thing where she moved in 2013. That's not 14 years. So why aren't the lies being called out? There is no way that she lived by Noodle Mash for 14 years, but she's sticking with that. All right? And, you know, is it just because Noodle Mash is in Natasha's community? And, you know, common sense would say that, you know, when Mrs. P says that the first time when she seen Noodle Mash after all those years in the manager's office, the first thing that Noodle Mash said to her is, you look familiar. Wait, you are that puke that I made fun of and bullied in high school. For one, does that even make sense? Okay, the first thing that you're going to say to somebody after, what, 30 years is, oh, you're that puke that I made fun of in high school and bullied. Does that even make sense? And you're going to say that in a manager's office? I mean, the manager probably was there, right? Right? And you're just moving into this new place and you just turned in your lease, your paperwork or whatever, and you're going to say that to another tenant there, maybe in front of this manager, and that's what you're going to say? For maybe the manager to overhear you and think, uh-oh, we got a troublemaker moving into this place. I mean, if it doesn't make sense, normally it's not true. And then we see the text messages. Well, not text messages, Facebook messages. You know, if somebody was bullied so bad by somebody, I'm sorry, those messages don't make sense. I know if I was bullied by somebody so bad, I wouldn't be all up, oh, I care about you, I love you, and blah, 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 blah. Nah, no, thank you. Okay? I'd be cordial, maybe. But maybe I would address what happened in the past. You know? Why were you so mean to me? What did I ever do? You know that I got mental issues, you know? You know that I have the, you know, physical, mental, you know, I was in special ed. What made you bully me back then? You know, what did I ever do to you? No, you don't see any of those, do you? No. But moving past that, I'm not even going to rehash that, okay? Because we all know, like I said, Mrs. P does have some issues. She does. And like I said, you know, a lot of people want to diagnose it. I've seen some diagnoses out there, okay? And they said, you know, I've researched it, this and that. Guys, unless you got all of her medical paperwork in front of you, you can't say that you know exactly what she has and you diagnosed it and this and that. I've already talked about my friend that had fetal alcohol syndrome. I get it, okay? But she doesn't do this behavior, okay? She works a job, she's married, she's got kids, and trust me, she had anger issues. In high school, this girl, she was a bully. I mean, not to me, but she didn't take no shit from nobody. She could be, trust me, I get it. That impulse control. But she knew how to control it too, you know. She knew how to control it. And she had a lot of friends. She did. She had a lot of friends. But she had fetal alcohol syndrome. She did. She also had a lot of the same things that Mrs. P has. When it comes to the mental that Mrs. P has put out there. But the thing is Mrs. P understands her bad behaviors and she does it over and over and over and over again. Now, a lot of people want to say, well, a lot of these other creators, they're doing bad behaviors. What's the difference? What's the difference with their bad behaviors and what Mrs. P's doing? You know, they're talking about this person and that person. Mrs. P has some of the things that she has said, you know, like wishing the C word on people's children, wishing people being in car accidents. Let's see, saying that, you know, I'm glad somebody has passed away that you loved. They're better off. You know, stuff like that. What if the people that are supporting her, what if she found out, you know, your loved one that passed away, that, you know, husband, wife, and you're her next target, and she goes after that? She knows what is going to hurt you the most there, and she goes and does video after video after video, community post after community post with your name and saying, I'm glad that they passed away because they're better off without you, without your mouth. How would you feel? Because that's what's happening to a lot of these people that really cared about her and helped her out, because she threw a tantrum. And she admitted she threw a tantrum. Okay? You would be making videos. You would be calling her out. And you know you would. Because not everybody has the tough skin like Lycan and Robbie. Okay? Robbie and Lycan, they both like the dark humor. And they're like, well, we understand her. We understand her. A lot of us understand her. But when she goes on the attack like this, for people that actually reached out, I mean, she's going on the attack of a woman that is in the hospital or was in the hospital, and she is not doing well, okay? She is not doing well at all. And she did nothing wrong, but she couldn't reach out to Mrs. P because Mrs. P got drunk over Krama Awards on YouTube. That is not right, guys. It is not right. And the more people enable that behavior and say, oh, well, you just got to overlook it. You got to walk on eggshells. You got to allow it to happen. You got to allow her to attack these people, these innocent people that are not attacking her. And you got to allow her to say that, oh, I'm disabled and you're attacking a disabled person. You're going after me because I got a disability. That's not okay. And I said before, a real friend would say, we love you, we care about you, but we don't support this behavior. And Robbie has said it, and I did even hear Lycan say that, even, you know, with Jessica Lynn, what she said about her getting a car accident was not nice. But that's not enough. That is not enough to stop that behavior. What is enough to stop it is, if you don't stop this behavior, we love you, we care about you, but we can't support you anymore if you don't stop this behavior. If you don't stop attacking people that are not clapping back at you or attacking you, if you don't stop doing that, we can't support you anymore. That's what a real friend does. Okay? That's what you do when you have somebody that's an addict, right? You would not dangle drugs in front of them, would you? You would not take them to where drugs are at. You would not, if they told you that they were using, what would you do? Or someone that's an alcoholic and they said, I'm going to a bar. I'm going to a bar drinking. Would you be like, okay, well, I understand you're an alcoholic and you can't help it because you're an alcoholic, so I'm going to look past it. Everybody needs to look past it because you have a disease. Sometimes you got to do that tough love, right? I support you. I am here to help you. I will do whatever I can to help you through this. But if you go to that bar or you use and you won't take my help, you won't take my advice, I can't support you anymore. If you're going to keep doing the same cycle over and over and over again, it's called tough love. Because mentally, we have seen it. We have seen her tears. We have seen her hurt. This is, in my opinion, this drama circle is too much for her. It is. Unless she stops this behavior. It is too much. She does not have the tough skin for it because, in my opinion, she says she wants to belong and she wants to be loved. I understand that. I totally get it. But she only wants to be loved and to belong to the big name creators, okay? On YouTube. Now, you have these clip channels that are making these videos about her that I don't agree with. They make fun of Mrs. Portland. They've been doing it for how long now? They have been doing it for a while. You know, the ones that Natasha would put up and they would watch and laugh about? Okay? I mean, some of it was in retaliation. I don't agree with making fun of Mrs. Portland at all. Whoever does that, shame on you. Okay? Making fun of her looks. Now, I know she's made fun of other people's looks. But to make fun of her looks and stuff like that, y'all know I don't agree with that. Okay? But she's not mad at them. She doesn't go after these people that make videos about her on a daily. She only attacks these other big creators. The big creators that don't make videos on her daily. They might clap back at her when she goes after them, and then she says they're attacking her. They're mentally abusing her because they finally mention her name and say enough is enough. You have been attacking me and putting this out on me and all this stuff, you know, and I'm finally clapping back and I'm saying enough. Mrs. Portland is the one abusing them. Okay? They're abusing them. Or she's abusing them. And everybody knows it. Even her supporters know it. And they're basically saying it's okay because we don't like these people, so it's okay that she does what she does. Because we don't like the people. But again, if you're her target, you wouldn't think it's okay. And I understand that creators are clapping back. That's what they do in this drama community. There's a difference between clapping back when somebody says something about you and you clap back at them. There's a difference than attacking somebody that's not saying anything about you. You're just mad at them because they're not at your beck and call. Okay? They're not there when you think that they should be there. Okay? Or you're just saying vile things and saying you hope that, they get in a car wreck, or you're glad that a family member's passed away. And, there's a difference, and you guys know there is. She also wants to get on there and tell all the other creators to leave her friend, her people alone. You better back off, leave them alone, don't talk about them. This is a drama community. That's going to happen. Her friends are talking about other creators. They're going to clap back. That's something she needs to understand. So her telling people to F off, okay, that's just crazy. Because it's a drama community, right? People are going to clap back at each other. So for her, it's none of her business, for one, right? It's none of her business if two creators are going to go at each other. It has nothing to do with her. And it's just going to cause her more issues in the long run. And her friends that are the creators should tell her, hey, this isn't your war. I don't want you to get more, to get more issues. You've already got enough. I don't want you to get upset over this. Let me handle my battles. That's why a lot of people are saying certain people are weaponizing her or using her, because maybe they should be telling her this. Hey, don't be doing that on your channel. Let me fight my own battles. It's just going to cause you grief, and you don't need any more of it. Now she says she's going to grow stronger and bigger than any other creator. I wish her the best on her channel. I do. She does wonderful work when she does her arts and stuff. She would hold, when she did her lives, she would chat with her chatters like no other she would talk to everybody. She did a great job. But she doesn't do any content. So how can you grow your channel when you won't do a live, you won't do any content? So how can you grow to be bigger and better than anybody when you won't do anything? And she already said before, she's taken it back, I don't know. She said before her channel was taken down for bullying and harassing, that she got reported. So is she ban evading? Don't know. I don't care if she's ban evading. I really don't. But, she talked about Natasha doing the ban evading, which we know Natasha is. But, her email used to be in her name. Now it's, in her husband's name. But she did say that her channel was taken down for bullying and harassing. And then she said she took it down on her own. I believe, what she first put out. Because she's not, she had the subs, but she's not trying to, get any type of watch hours or whatever. So, you got to grow your channel. You got to put the content out there. You got to do the work. And she's not doing that to be bigger and better than anybody else. So with that, I'm going to go. I already went on longer than I should have. It's not right. Nobody should have to walk on eggshells around anybody. All right? And nobody should put up with the abuse that she's putting out there. Now, like I said, creators, they're going to do the clapback. And there's some abuse that is out there that people shouldn't put up with either. All right? With other creators. And I've talked about that in some of my videos. Okay, about different behaviors and stuff. Does that leave, should everybody leave Mrs. P out of it because she's got disabilities. There's creators that have some of the same disabilities that she has. All right. Yes, we should have more compassion. We should have more kindness. And I still think Mrs. P has she can be very sweet. She is funny, but what she's doing is absolutely wrong. She's like, well, I made I made apologies, and no one wants to accept them. She's still calling Country Joe Country Schmo. She did not make an apology to Country Joe. Country Joe didn't do anything wrong to her, okay, except not giving her a nomination. And now Country Joe is saying a few things about her because of what she's been doing all week. It's been almost a week. Sally Ann didn't say anything until it went on and on and on and on. She hasn't said sorry to Granny. Granny didn't say anything until she kept going on and on about Granny. And then, oh my gosh, the most disgusting panel talking about Granny's private parts yet again. And she was up there laughing and thinking it was just hilarious. Okay. She didn't say sorry to Small Town Jewel about what she said. She didn't say sorry to Kelly. She's not saying sorry to these people that she was so nasty to. The only thing she's saying sorry about is throwing a tantrum. That she threw a big tantrum. I am not catching that before it goes off. The way to say I'm sorry, if you are truly sorry, is saying, I am sorry that I said these things about you. I'm sorry, Sally Ann. You might not accept my apology because I was really nasty. I did throw the tantrum. She did say that. I did throw the tantrum, and I shouldn't have done that. You guys know that I have issues with my impulse controls, with my anger. I got to stop making excuses for that. But I do own it. I always own it. I always say I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, Country Joe. Okay? I'm going to stop talking about you. I'm going to stop making fun of your looks. Since Country Joe hasn't made fun of Mrs. Portland's looks, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm sorry, Small Town Jewel, that you're sick and that I said the most vile things about you because you guys couldn't call me. You were in the hospital. You couldn't call me. I'm sorry, Chris, that you and Sally Ann were dealing with real life stuff and couldn't call me because I decided to drink because of YouTube, because I wasn't nominated for these awards, and it upset me and I drank. I'm sorry, Granny, that I said that you should have gotten to a car wreck, or I wish you would have gotten to a car wreck, or however she phrased that. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I said all the other things that I said about you as well. I know you don't get along with my friend Lycan, but that's your guys' beef. It's not mine. It's none of my business. We might not be friends, but I'm sorry I said those nasty things about you. I'm sorry, Christiane, because you never did anything to me, ever, but be nice. I'm sorry I said anything bad about you. You might not want to be my friend again. You might not let me in, but I just want to say I'm sorry. This all came because I threw a tantrum over these Krama Awards. And I'm going to try to do better. I know I keep saying this, but I do have these issues. I do have these issues, and I'm going to work harder. I really am. You guys have seen where I have went for a long time where I didn't do these things. So I'm going to find my happy place to where I'm not, I'm not going to do the videos, and I'm not going to go on my community wall and post these nasty things. I'm going to find that place where I was happy and it stopped me from doing that. I'm going to work harder on that. But I'm sorry to all of you guys, and I'm going to name you out by name. I'm sorry I did that to you. And I bet you anything Mrs. Portland would get thank you. And I'm sorry if we did anything to hurt your feelings, and everybody would move on. But she won't do that. She might. I don't know. That would be a real apology. That would be what an adult would do. That's almost 55 years old. Because Mrs. Portland is very intelligent. Very intelligent. That's how a real apology would go, because these people, none of them have done anything to her. None of them. And most of them care deeply for her. And that's the truth. So I'm going to go. This will be the last video that I do. It needed to be addressed. I'm sorry, it did. Mrs. Portland can be very sweet, but Mrs. Portland needs lots of attention. Lots of attention. And if she does not get that attention, she feels like she's being attacked. And that could be a legit feeling for her. She really feels like she's being attacked, or that someone doesn't care. And that's got to be a horrible feeling when you feel like nobody cares about you outside, besides your husband. You want to feel wanted and accepted. That is a legit feeling. And maybe that's something she needs to speak with, with her case manager, that she needs more than just, her spouse. She needs something else in her life where she wants to, this need to feel accepted by others. So everyone have a good one. We're going to get back to my series, as well as my, my other stuff I wanted to show as I can tomorrow. Hopefully I get this released tonight. This is Friday night. Tomorrow I am going to be up at the hospital, so I don't know how long I'm going to stay up there. They still have the C virus protocol stuff in place. It's not as bad, but they have restricted hours. But I'm going to be up there making my rounds and seeing what all the test results on both of my loved ones are, because they're both going through a lot of different tests to see what's going on. So we'll just, hopefully, and we're going to be getting a lot of rain here, so I don't know, we'll see what's going on. It's just going to be a busy weekend, but I do want to get those out. Everyone have a great night, and we'll just catch you again.